To this day, we still get plenty of brand new titles of varying scopes and sizes. We get indies that harken back to the olden days of video gaming, when games were simpler yet harder. Some games buck the current trends and just do their own thing, and others are a collection of the greatest hits. But the games most people look towards are the massive, AAA open world titles with an epic scope, a game where you can go anywhere, do anything. But what does it all cost anyways? Some of these massive AAA titles can take hundreds of millions of dollars to develop, and these games tend to cost you $60 to $70. There is one additional cost though. Your file space. Newer and newer AAA games have been getting bigger and bigger. I mean, that's to be expected, right? Better graphics require more storage. You need more storage to store all of those higher quality textures and assets, right? This isn't just a Steam Deck issue though. This is an issue with all modern gaming devices, whether it be your consoles or your PC. No matter where you game, this will be an issue. So what's this got to do with the Steam Deck? Well, the Steam Deck comes in 3 different sizes: 64GB, 256GB, and 512GB. On paper, these are fairly decent sizes for all sorts of budgets. I mean, you wouldn't want Valve to charge you an arm and a leg for a 2TB Steam Deck now, would you? And yes, the Steam Deck can use a micro SD card, the biggest of which being a 1TB SD card. You can even hot swap them if so desired. But this doesn't change the fact that file sizes are ballooning out of control. A lot of this file size inflation could be chalked up to multiple different things that you don't really need. For example, multiple different language packs. Sometimes games do it right, where they only download the language you select. For example, Destiny 2, it only downloads text and voice lines for your selected languages. In this case, I selected English. This is the part where we explain how Steam actually works. Steam has a feature for developers called depots. These are file type groupings based on certain criteria. Currently, there are 4 different rules for depots: language, OS, CPU architecture, and DLC. This gives Steam the flexibility to download only what it needs. In this example right here, the game depot is 85GB. That's just the game itself. It would then download additional files based on whatever language you selected. This gives Steam the flexibility to download only what it needs. By virtue of not downloading every language file, you don't have to download 15GB of additional languages that you never have to play. Those are some pretty decent savings if you ask me. But more often than not, games will just download every single language. Do you want to play the game in German, French, Spanish, Italian? No? Well, you have to download it anyways, because that's how some of these developers have set up their stuff. On one hand, it makes things easy. You don't have to re-download files for different languages. On the other hand though, if you end up not using any other languages, then you're just leaving these languages in your hard drive for no real reason other than to just have it there. Depots exist for developers to use, to allow for Steam to intelligently download files as needed. But depots can do so much more than just separate language packs. Let's look at another example. Let's look at Halo, the Master Chief Collection. For those not in the know, for the Master Chief Collection, you can choose to download and not download specific portions of the collection. Let's say, for example, you want to play every Halo campaign and you have no interest in the multiplayer. Truly insane that you can just cut the game's file size in half by just not downloading the modes that you don't want. The reverse is true too. You can download every multiplayer experience and not download any of the campaigns. When it comes to using Steam depots, the Master Chief Collection is in a league of its own. Developers could apply this logic to create a sort of low-spec version of a game.
One concern we've heard from both developers and customers is that PC games can be quite hefty. How will that work on the deck? Well, if your game depots are full of high-resolution textures, audio, or movies, you may want to consider configuring depots with lower resolution versions specific to the Steam Deck. You'd upload that content through SteamPipe just like you would for any other depot, but then you'd mark it as Steam Deck only on the partner side. Doing this will help customers download your games faster, take up less space on their device, and have better in-game performance.
I suppose the main issue is that developers just don't want to do it. It's also extra unfortunate that the ones that would benefit the most from doing stuff like this are the ones that tend to not do it, aka the major AAA devs. Developers give us a lot of reasons for why these file sizes have just been ballooning out of control. And I will admit, I'm no game developer, so I'm not gonna say that I know more than they do. I'm just gonna say that this is an issue that everyone has to deal with, regardless of their technical prowess. Is there a perfect solution? I would have expected Steam depots to be a decent solution for things like different languages and stuff, but if any developers want to educate me on why this may not be the best idea, please do so. I'm always down to learn, as are my viewers. If you liked this video, you should give it a thumbs up and spread the good gospel of high-tech lowlife. And if you want to see more high-tech lowlife, be sure to enable notifications and press the subscribe button. Furthermore, we have a community Discord server for enlightened individuals such as you. And in case you wanted to directly support high-tech lowlife, you can join our Patreon page.